Hello everyone and welcome back. Patch 7.2 is dropping later today, so let's go over everything that's going to be affecting us in Mythic Pluses from here on out. Now, besides the inclusion of 3 new dungeons in the rotation, which is Cathedral of the Eternal Night and Upper and Lower Karazhan, we are also getting new affixes, and some older ones have either gotten nerfed, buffed, or removed. So let's go over the brand new affixes that are going to be impacting us now. Now for a level 4, there is a new one called Bursting. What this is going to do is when a non-boss enemy dies, they're going to explode in an AoE, causing the player to take 10% of his HP as damage over the course of 4 seconds. And the bad part is, this is going to stack. So what this means is that even if you're running a Mythic Plus 4, you cannot melee AoE a group of more than 10 mobs at the same time, just because you will be taking more than 100% of your HP as damage and you will go down. So what this requires you to do is stun, snare, and kite mobs when they're really low so that you don't get affected by this debuff at all. Another thing you can do is limit how big your pulls are, so that you only get 2 to 4 stacks of this and you will be able to survive. Another one of the new affixes is Fell Explosives. Now what this does is every mob has a chance to summon an explosive orb in a given location, and when this orb explodes, it causes 50% of that player's damage as an AoE. What this is going to require us to do is to move away from these orbs as quickly as possible. That means blinking, disengaging, heroic leaping, dashing, whatever it is that you have in order to move away from this target location, you're going to have to do immediately because 50% of your HP is extremely detrimental. The next new affix that I think is probably going to be the worst one that we have to deal with is Quaking. Now every now and then a player will quake, and what this means is that they will do 20% of their maximum HP as damage, and this AoE also interrupts casts in an AoE. So what this means is all of your ranged wants to be spread out so that they don't hurt each other, and they have to be ready to deal with an interrupt that can happen at any given moment. The next one is Grievous, and what this does is it inflicts a wound on anyone that's below 90% HP. This wound does more and more damage over time, so the longer that each person is below 90% HP, the more damage that they'll be taking. Now, no part of this states whether it will fall off out of combat or not, but I can see this affecting a lot of players in that they might even have to eat conjured food in order to get past this if the healer is So Grievous has replaced Overflowing in the Mythic Plus affix world, because Grievous is almost solely an affix that only the healer has to deal with, just like Overflowing was. Now those are all of the new affixes, but a lot of the old ones were changed as well, so let's go over that. Only one old affix was buffed, and that's Sanguine. The pool that the mob drops on the floor when it is killed has been increased to 8 yards, and a lot of the old affixes have been nerfed. Necrotic has actually been hotfixed earlier, but it now drops as soon as you go out of combat. Skittish is nerfed. It used to dampen 80% of your threat, but now it instead does 75%, so it should be a little bit easier to deal with. Fortified has had its bonus damage removed from 40% to 30%. Tyrannical has also had its bonus damage lowered from 20% to 15%. And Bolstering has had its AoE area reduced from 45 yards to 30 yards. I did mention earlier that Overflowing is now completely removed from Mythic Plus affixes, and overall these brand new affixes are really interesting to me. The old affixes would buff the amount of damage that certain things did, certain mobs, and would really scale well with every Mythic Plus level. With these brand new affixes, we see that they actually scale with the players. A lot of this damage is based on the player's HP. When we talk about Bursting, Fell Explosives, and Quaking, those all have to do with the player's maximum HP pool. One thing that is very clear is that melee heavy compositions are not going to be very good. They're going to be causing a lot of AoE damage to each other. So we still see the inclination for ranged only groups. That was already there before, but these brand new affixes enforce it even more. Another thing that is interesting to note with these brand new affixes, since they are based on a percentage of maximum HP pool of the player, no matter how high or low you get on the Mythic Plus scale, the impact is going to be the same. That's to say, if you're doing a Mythic Plus 4 or a Mythic Plus 15, Bursting is still going to hit you for 10% of your HP. Since that number doesn't change, once you learn how to deal with the mechanic, going up in Mythic Plus scale should be a little bit easier nowadays. Once 7.2 is live, you can absolutely expect a full guide for each one of these affixes from me here on this channel. And if you like this channel and you want to help support it, go ahead and visit us on patreon.com/befuddled_gaming. The link is also down in the description. But again, I want to say thank you to all the viewers. Thank you guys for sharing and liking and keeping the conversation going in the comment section down below. And if you do support us on Patreon, huge shout out to you. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, good luck out there.